Often copied but never replicated.
Yeah, I like that saying. Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mahker YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about Project Rodent, for those of you that don't know it, and what it's like to live with an M57, because this is one of our oldest conversions on the road, and the customer today, Rob, is going to talk you through what he likes and what he dislikes about it. But there's no dislikes. Hi everybody, so for those of you that don't know Rob is the owner of Project Rodent, become a good friend of mine and a bad influence, accomplice, what do you call it? Anyway, so we're out in Rodent right now. This is Rodent. I wanted to get some feedback off Rob about what he thinks about this M57, what it's like to live in. So Rob uses this car as a daily, for those of you that don't know, and he tows with it. He comes up and down the motorway. So Rob lives in Hartley-Whitney and I live in Shropshire. So he comes up here quite regularly. And today, he's been up here today because we've been giving the car a facelift. And we're giving the car the usual, look over, check, inspection while it's with us. And we decided to give it a nice new steering box because a bit of slack. And that was partly my fault from in Morocco. We were jumping off dunes and damn right abusing it, weren't we, Rob?
Partly.
Yeah, partly.
Can we just clarify the partly bit though?
Yeah, partly my fault. So the car came back and it was giving it this, and Rob was fighting with the wheel. So we've given him one of our, we call it the tight box. So it's a lot tighter. You haven't got that horrible slop that you normally get in a Defender. So Graham, who builds my steering boxes, I said to him, can you make them a little bit tighter, but not too tight that it causes damage to the pinion and wears too much? So, right Rob, what is your, let's say your favourite bit about this engine since we installed it?
I think the refinement and the power and the drivability. Since I've had it in, I would not go back to a Land Rover engine in a Defender. I would just stick with this. I think for towing, for driving, the noise, I mean we're doing 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, and it's at 1800 RPM, it's happy, isn't it? So to give everyone an insight, the engine in this car is an M57 iron block coupled to Mahker billet adapter, then to a Winchester gears heavy duty MT82 with some lovely billet gear stick. This engine was all about refinement, reliability, miles per gallon, and also Rob's not afraid of putting his foot down and enjoying this car. So I know he's quite fond of doing donuts on a beach or on a bit of grass that I've seen you doing, so he can't say he hasn't thrashed this car and had a bit of fun with it. But the main thing of it is to see the world. This car's been to Morocco twice, once as a 200 TDI and the second time with an M57. Our first experience, remember going up the Atlas Mountains, and that was painful, wasn't it, with the 200 TDI?
Yeah, it was, we were struggling, it struggled to breathe, probably too big a turbo and it just overboosting.
It was painful, wasn't it?
It was just painful crawling up, yeah, and we blew a cord plug going up.
Yeah, so we sent that out there.
No, we didn't. We blew the radiator cap.
Radiator cap, and then we blew the core plug out the way back home, wasn't it?
That's it, yeah.
Because I was too impatient to go steady.
It just overworked, just too hard.
It's a bit happier at this temperature. Woof!
Would have been 120 shag.
So it got a tad warm.
But then we went up this time, well the second time.
Oh, it breezed, wasn't it?
And it just breezed up. It didn't get above 105 and it just crawled up. 105 might sound a lot, but this engine is happy at about normal's about 96.
Look at that. Rodent has performed effortlessly. Second gear all the way, 10 psi boost, we've added on song. I think we've built the ultimate scram car. Not to blow my own trumpet, but we certainly have. So what we're finding now is we've got a recipe of a cooling system from Alisport. It's working really well. This is currently on our electric fan setup, but we also have now developed a viscous fan setup, which I will be giving to Rob in due course, because this car is my bread and butter. Rob's our mascot for Mahker, ambassador, whatever you want to call it. This car goes to the London Mud Club quite frequently.
Yep.
For those of you that don't know, Rob is one of the, do we say, organisers, owners of it?
Founding member.
Founding member, there you go. Him in Lord Trousers, for those that don't know him. You hear Trousers before you see him, and you'll definitely not forget him. But more to the point, this car is Mahker through and through. It's an iconic car. There are others like it, but none like this one.
Often copied, but never replicated.
Yeah, I like that saying. So we like to set the standard and for others to follow. So this car is sporting our 2.65 pre-runner shocks. It's super comfortable. I would quite happily say, you know, let's go off to Morocco again. And to give you guys a heads up, it's a long way to Morocco to get there, to get to Tangier on the ferry. We drove through France, didn't we? We stopped in some really rough chateaus on the way there.
Castles, yeah.
Yeah, but it was a fantastic trip, and we're going to do it again in September. For those of you that have got interest and you own a lovely Defender and you believe it is worthy of coming on a trip with Buzz, we are going to, it's going to be very select who we select. We're not just going to let anybody come on this trip. It's going to be a trip of a lifetime. It's going to be one to remember. The musts are, you must bring a bottle of something interesting, and you must bring some laughter, and most of all, banter. So,
And a good sense of adventure.
exactly that. So if you guys want to come, please get in touch, info@mahker.com, or find my WhatsApp number, or drop me a message on YouTube and I'll get in touch with you, and you know, we'll connect. But it's definitely going to be an awesome trip this year. So September 2026. We're open for 10 days, no more, because of family commitments. So for those of you that are interested, reach out. Anyway, we hope you love the M57. And if you want to know more, don't be afraid to get in touch, because what I am doing now is I've got the farm truck available. It's my own vehicle, it's a manual. And if you want to experience the M57, please reach out and you can come for a drive. So the main thing of today is what you see down here, and we decided, as Rob being our main ambassador for Mahker, we'd give him a nice new front end, because quite frankly this car has been the bread and butter of what Mahker's about. It is a ruthless machine that's been across Morocco twice now, and we're planning to go again this year, so why not give it the ultimate look. So this is Scott, everybody, from Uproar.
Oh yeah.
And this is his latest bumper. What do you think of that?
So this is the classic Defender winch bumper. So it's stainless steel, 5mm thick, it's called the classic Defender winch bumper because it's probably the nearest thing we do to something that looks a bit standard, but it's anything but.
How long does this take you to make?
Typically takes about 8 to 10 hours in total from start to finish. Now, it probably could be done a lot quicker, but with everything that I make, I try and have a high standard, so everything's sort of edge linished. It's all nicely put together, it's very precise, the winch fits in perfectly, and it's fit for purpose. It's been made out of 5mm stainless steel, and it will hold some of the most powerful SUV winches on the market. So for the moment, we've gone with a Warn, but it will hold a Red Winch Nomad as well, or a Explorer 2 from Red Winch, if it has a modification to the Airbus on the side.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What made you go with the laser lights?
I'd just say outright quality and performance, really. So laser lamps are well known for just ultimate quality. And another thing that rings home to me as well is the fact that they're made in the UK. So
Didn't know that.
yeah, they're made in-house in the UK. So there's a lot of LEDs out there. A lot of them are made in China and things like that. But no, these are made in the UK, in-house by Lazer themselves. And the other good thing about the R 750s is that they have DRL and spotlights in them. So you can drive around in the daytime with just DRLs on, and then when you need to, you can just flip a switch, spotlights straight on. And we've had no end of people say it's the equivalent of turning the sun on.
Oh, so. Definitely. Well, you see in here, look, so we've got like Project Gent over there, that's packing the laser lights. Pretty much most of the cars that leave here have them, and we like them because safety is paramount and also the cool factor. So we love the, I can't remember, is it the Cree LEDs they use?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
Maybe we need to get a laser rep here and talk us through the technical data, but they do look ace. Like, what I love about this model is you can, depending on the wiring that comes with them, you can pick one of the wires to have amber. I think that's on certain models. I think it's the top of the range models, isn't it? Like the Sentinels and that kind of thing. Or you can just have DRL, and you have obviously your main beam and your low beam. So I think it'd be quite a neat thing on this. So if Rob fancies it, we maybe could give him a nice amber DRL. And what they also do as well, they sell these clip-on filters, which I love. So if you are in somewhere like Iceland or somewhere with heavy fog, you can have the nice safety of cutting through fog, which amber does perfectly. Yeah,
another great thing with lasers as well is they come with a 5-year warranty, which is massive. I mean, normally you're looking at, well, probably bog standard is about a year, but you get some of them going up to 3. But no, the 5-year warranty, and I mean, I've had one replacement in probably 4 years, and they actually took both the lights back, even though it was just one that had a tiny bit of condensation in, so it is just like...
It's nice, isn't it? At least they give it...
It's just a great service level. Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse when you see like the Chinese ones and you see like condensation inside the lens or water when someone's been wading or something, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't get that with these, and even if you do, they stuck by the guns and they'll stand by what they make, so...
No, that's why we work with them kind of people, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perfect, really.
So another thing I want to point out about this bumper is it's stainless steel, fully TIG welded. I said to Scott, I want to make sure that these are on properly because this car is going to get up to its knackers in sand and mud, and it's going to be recovered and recovering others.
Yeah, so these are 20mm thick toe eyes, all linish, so there's no sharp edges on them. And then we've gone with a Warn 8-ton shackle, well it says 9-ton, but they advertise them as 8-ton. But yeah, beastie things.
It's nice that it matches through, isn't it? So it follows the contours through.
Yeah, they just do something a bit different. It's just nice work, isn't it?
And this is the bumper you're going to see on Project Sterling and also Project Lion. So we're going to have all the Morocco cars looking the same, uniform, and keep that going through. So if somebody would like this bumper, now tell us the bad bit, how much is it going to cost, Scott?
It varies. So this is actually a variant bumper. So Lazers are the top of the range that we offer with it, which I think is about 2,200. But if you just want completely solid arms, 1,006. If you want some the standard DRLs in there, you're looking at about 1.8, something like that.
So if they jump on your website, it's totally flexible?
Yeah, there's loads of different types of LEDs we do. So we do Noldens as well, which are round LEDs. That comes in at about 2,000, something like that. But the reason why it costs so much is, one, it costs a lot to make, and two, the hours per build is just phenomenal, really.
What warranty do you give on the product itself?
5 years. Try and match Lazer, really.
Exactly.
I mean, you wouldn't... There's no way you're ripping that off, to be honest with you. And it's all been tested as well. We've had it properly tested by Hariba Myra.
Excellent.
So destruction tested professionally, down onto a bed, pulled properly to 11 ton. Didn't break, does deform after 8 ton, but... you're gonna damage your chassis if you pull over that anyway.
Well, that's peace of mind though, isn't it, that it's going to do that? So.
Yeah. So you don't get many winch bumpers on the market that are tested really. They're all just sort of people say, oh, we've tested it, but
it's nice that you tested the destruction, because that's what I previously did, is non-destructive testing. So I used to be a welding inspector. I can honestly say that your welds, they look clean, they look smart. So well done on that product.
Yeah, it's nice.
So if anybody wants this product, head over to Uproar and get one ordered before it's too late.
You can make a noise now, don't we?
Where was it?
Under the door.
Crawled underneath the door.
So this here, living with an M57. This is probably one of the longest, most used M57s that is out there, belonging to Mahker. This is one of the very first, along with Ninja and one of the others. What's your most favourite thing about this engine?
Refinement.
Okay.
I think it's smooth, it's quieter, it's got a lot more power, and its torque is a good thing. And for on long cruises, it's happy just to sit and cruise. It's not revving its nuts off, and you're not having to change down gears on the motorways. It just cruises, and it'll sit in traffic, even at almost 7 foot. It'll sit.
Yeah, this is a brick. He's emphasised the brick of a Land Rover, if you like. So, but then, like, we've just been out for a little drive with it and just reminiscing on what this car is about, etc. And it shifts. We've just put a new steering box on the car. We damaged it in Morocco, so we've just enhanced that a little bit. But as you can see, she's a beauty in herself. It's a very custom car, and the M57 it's a powerhouse, isn't it? And it's transformed it from what was a 200 TDI gutless thing that struggled to climb up the Atlas. But yes, the 200 TDI is an amazing engine. It will go forever, and it's a plodder, unfortunately. But we wanted this car to stretch its legs when it's required, because this is Rob's daily, isn't it?
Yeah, I drive this. Take my dogs out for a walk. I go to the shops in it, but it sits. I like it. It's refined. It's powerful. It's quiet. I tow. I've driven to Scotland towing about a 3.5 ton boat, and it happily sits at 60 miles an hour just towing. And
happy with the clutch? Clutch feels good.
Clutch is fine. It's a little heavy, but than a normal Puma clutch. Yeah. But you get used to it. I don't mind a manual. I quite like a manual. Yeah. Would I have gone for an auto? I don't know. At the time, I'm under-nard, but actually, I quite like the manual.
It's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah. And it suits it.
Do you like your front end?
I love it. It's really nice. Chained it. My old one was getting a bit tired, but it's been on for 4.5 years. So.
It's served well, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been good.
It's took a battering, and for those who don't know, Rob has a good involvement with the London Mud Club. He likes getting this thing stuck in mud up to its knackers and getting people out of the mud and himself out of the mud. As much as I don't agree with getting cars in the mud and getting them absolutely plastered, but it's all part of the fun. I'd do it myself, and I will be doing it myself with a farm truck. But
I do it slightly less now because of the rebuild costs and the repair bills go up.
It gets in places, doesn't it?
It gets in places, yeah.
So there you have it, guys. This is Project Rodent, and she's battering on and creating more battle scars and patina as she gets older. So I'm glad you like it, Rob, and thank you very much.
Cheers, David. Thank you.